want to introduce you to a friend of mine, Mr. Wilson. No, not Russell Wilson from the Seahawks. He plays kind of with this oblong ball, and it doesn't bounce very well. But Mr. Wilson and I have been friends for a long time. We go way back. And he's been I first met him when I was at Christmas time. I was about 4 years old, and there was this big box in front of the Christmas tree, and I just dove in and opened it up, and there was this big orange ball. And he's been by my side ever since. When I walked down the street or went to school, I always had Mr. Wilson with me. And then I went on to college and obviously played college basketball. Then I went on to play professional basketball. And he's been actually a part of my life in my business career. So we've been on this journey for a long time. And it's been an interesting journey. And one of the things that we've been able to do is meet some amazing people. Those amazing people are elite athletes. Not just your regular athletes, but your elite athletes. Now, a lot of you are going to say, I can't relate to these people. They're superhuman, these men and women. I'll give you a little secret. They're just like you and me. I actually had a front row seat. Okay, I was at the end of the bench watching and observing and learning from these world-class, amazing kind of athletes. But I want to give you today is a window into that world that a lot of us don't have an opportunity to. And a lot of us think that these amazing athletes are there because of their talent. But Mr. Wilson and I realized it's really not. It's about a competitive mindset. They actually see and think and behave so much different than we do. And that's why I want to share with you some 2 key points that we saw that maybe you could use in your daily life or in your business. The 2 points are visualization and deliberate practice. Let's start with visualization. A lot of us think that visualization is just about seeing a goal ahead of us. But actually, these people travel in time. They actually take their emotions, their senses, seeing, hearing, touching, and they go into the future. What they're doing is defining their own reality, their own future, and they're living there. And then they come back, and then they have already created an imprint, a blueprint of what success is going to be for them. Let me give you an example. I used to be a really good shooter, and I used to shoot a lot of free throws. Before I shot a free throw, I would actually, and you can take the time if you want to follow with me, is close your eyes, and I would think about how I was holding the ball. I would think about the arc of the ball. I would think of a really good backspin, and it goes right through the net. And it was really cool to me if I could make the net flip up onto the rim. Then all I would do was open my eyes, take a couple dribbles, and I would just let it go. 9 out of 10 times, I would make it, 90% of the time. What I didn't realize at that time was with neuroscience today, when you actually visualize what I was doing, you're actually using the same part of the brain as if you were doing it. And it's so powerful today, even Jordan Spieth, the #1 golfer in the world, you've probably heard now with technology, their communication with him. Michael Geller would say to Jordan Spieth, paint a picture. Well, what he's saying is, look at the flight of the ball. Watch it hit the green. Watch it roll onto the green. How is it going to react? Jordan will say, got it. And he says, make it happen. And so he does. One of the most powerful one of these visualizations happened with a gentleman named Colonel Nesmith. He was an average golfer, shot around 95, but something happened in his life, tragically. He became a prisoner of war during the Vietnam War. He was a prisoner for 7.5 years in a solitary confinement of a cell no more than 5 feet by 5 feet by 5 feet. What would you do if you were in that situation? Well, he didn't want to give up hope. He wanted to overcome this. So what he did is he actually played golf. He didn't think about golf. He was actually playing golf. He visualized it. So what he would do for 4 hours is play his golf course back home. He would put a tee in the ground. He would hit it, watch it go down the fairway, put the club back into the bag, and start walking down the fairway. He would hear the birds. He would hear the clippers of the mowers. He would feel the wind on the end of it on his back, and he would keep on walking along. He would come up to his ball, and he would repeat it again, and he would feel the club in his hands. At the end of 7.5 years, he was finally released, but he did this every day. Now remember, I said that he had a shot around a 95. That was his handicap, or his strokes. What do you think he did when he came back after not touching a club for 7.5 years? You would think he would at least shoot a 95, but probably higher. The amazing thing is, he shot a 75, 20 strokes less than what he did by just doing visualization. This is a more powerful tool that we can use in our daily lives. If you're a sales rep, visualize your sales presentation. If you're going to a job interview, visualize what is going to happen in the job interview. How many of you want to lose weight? A lot of us want to lose weight. Visualize what you're going to look like when you lose your weight. Put on the dress. See yourself in the mirror. Eat the food that you need to do. Because when you come back, you've already created an imprint of what success is going to look like for you. Jack Nicklaus had a saying, "I never hit a shot, not even in practice, without having a very sharp, in-focus picture in my head."